Welcome to Oryx Learning. Today's lesson is on Unit 2, Equations in One Variable, Lesson 3, Writing Two-Step Equations. Jerome wants to attend space camp. The cost of attending the camp is $450. His parents will pay the deposit of $250, but he will have to make payments for the rest of the cost. Jerome gets an allowance of $10 per week. He wonders how many weeks will it take to pay off his debt. Jerome can change his problem into a two-step equation to determine how many weeks before he gets his allowance back. There are 5 steps to changing verbal descriptions into equations and solving the problem. First, define a variable. Second, focus only on key words. Third, translate the verbal model into an algebraic equation. Fourth, solve the equation using inverse operations. And fifth, answer the question that is asked. From words to math. In order to change from words to math, we have a few that are recognizable. For example, when it says add, sum, more than, increased, plus, or total, that's addition. For subtraction, we have subtraction, subtract, minus, less, difference, decreased, or take away. For multiplication, we can use multiplication, multiply, product, times, of, or twice. And for division, we can use division, divide, quotient, goes into, or how many times. Those are not all of the options, but it's a pretty good list to start with. Write the mathematical expression for the phrase 2/3 of a number. Well, 2/3 can be written as 2/3. Of is one of our words that means multiply, so of means multiply. And a number, an unknown number, we can represent with a variable. That variable, I'm going to choose x. X is going to represent my number. So 2/3 times x is 2/3 of a number. Write the mathematical expression for the phrase, the discount on a pair of shoes is 25%. What is the sales price of the shoes? So first we're going to pick out some key words. We have discount, 25%, and sales price. In order to find what the sales price of the shoes is, we can take the original price minus the discount, and that will be equal to the sales price. So the original price minus the percent discount times the original price will equal the sales price. If I let x equal the original price, then my equation looks like x minus 25% of x, which equals the sales price. This gives me x minus 0.25, 25% as a decimal, 0.25x equals the sales price, or if I take 1 minus 0.25, I get 0.75x equals the sales price. Mehdi started reading a book yesterday and has now read 150 pages. This is 1.5 times the number of pages he read yesterday. How many pages did Mehdi read yesterday? We can let x equal the number of pages Mehdi read yesterday. Therefore, 150 pages total read equals 1.5 times the number of pages he read yesterday, making my equation 150 equals 1.5x. In order to solve for x, I can use the inverse operation. the opposite or the inverse of multiplying by 1.5 would be to divide both sides of the equation by 1.5. 1.5 divided by 1.5 is 1. 150 divided by 1.5 is 100. So x equals 100. Mehdi read 100 pages yesterday. Write the equation that models the given situation and solve. Jaden purchased 3 CDs, which were the same price as 2 DVDs for $74. How much did each CD cost if each DVD was $17.50? So let's let x equal the cost of a CD. So the total cost equals the cost of the 3 CDs plus the cost of the 2 DVDs, making my equation $74 equals 3x plus 2 times $17.50, the cost of the DVDs. Simplifying, we can get 74 equals 3x plus 2 times $17.50, which is 35. The inverse operation of addition is subtraction, so we'll subtract 35 from both sides of the equation to keep it in balance. 74 minus 35 is 39, so 39 equals 3x. Again, taking the inverse operation, the inverse of multiplication is division, so we'll divide both sides of the equation by 3. 39 divided by 3 is 13, so x equals 13. And remember, x was the cost of a CD, so the cost of a CD is $13. Write the equation that models the given situation and solve. So our situation is, your family is building a rectangular patio in the backyard. You need to find the total area of the patio so you can order the supplies. You roped off the area so you know the perimeter is 42 meters. The length of the patio is 3 meters longer than twice the width. What is the area of the patio? So if the perimeter is 42 meters and the length is 3 meters longer than twice the width, then the length equals 3 plus 2w. Remember, our perimeter equation is P equals 2 times L plus 2 times W. Substituting in what we have, we know the total perimeter is 42. So 42 equals 2 times the length, which is 3 plus 2W, plus 2 times the width, W. Simplifying, distributing the 2, we'll get 42 equals 6 plus 4W plus 2W. We can combine our like terms to get 42 equals 6 plus 6W. The inverse of addition is subtraction, so we'll subtract 6 from both sides of the equation to keep it in balance. 42 minus 6 gives me 36, so 36 equals 6W. The inverse of multiplication is division, so I'll divide both sides of the equation by 6. 36 divided by 6 is 6, so W equals 6. Now let's make sure we answer the question that is asked. The question that is asked is to find the area of the patio, not the width. So if area equals length times width, and the width is 6, then the length is 3 plus 2 times 6, or 3 plus 12, which is 15. Therefore, the area will be 15 times 6, and 15 times 6 is 90. Don't forget to put your labels. The area of the patio is 90 square meters. So back to Jerome's problem with Space Camp. If the cost of attending camp is $450 and his parents will pay the deposit of $250, but he'll have to make payments for the rest of the cost, Jerome gets an allowance of $10 per week, and he wonders how many weeks it will take to pay off his debt. Well, if we let W equal the number of weeks, the total cost is $450. His parents paid $250, so the total cost equals the parents' deposit plus Jerome's $10 weekly payments. So our equation becomes 450 equals the deposit paid, $250, plus $10 a week times the number of weeks, which we called W. Inverse operations, we can subtract $250 from both sides of the equation. 450 minus 250 will leave us with 200, so 200 equals 10W. The inverse of multiplication is division, so we'll divide both sides of the equation by 10. 200 divided by 10 will give us 20, so W equals 20, and 20 is W is the number of weeks, so Jerome will have paid off his debt after 20 weeks of payments. Some key ideas to remember. Remember the steps to solving equations from verbal descriptions. First, define a variable. Second, focus only on key words. Third, translate the verbal model into an algebraic equation. Fourth, solve the algebraic equation using inverse operations. And fifth, answer the question that is being asked. That is our lesson for today. Thank you for joining us.